So you're saying that you've been constantly told that you're not good enough, and now you feel that that is hindering your ability to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Is that what you're saying? This is exactly. If you're conditioned to feel that way. Okay, feel that. Okay. Obviously, when you're a child and you keep hearing they're uttering at you that you're not good enough, it could affect your self-esteem up to a certain point, until you realize that the people who were saying what they were saying, they had no basis on it, because they were at one point in time. How could they know how you will be developing and how you will be progressing in life to know what your future would have been? Unless they are fortune teller, which hardly any fortune teller can really accurately say what your future will be. Some possibilities maybe, but that's a fortune teller. It's a psychic. It's not these people. So how did they know that you're not good enough, or you will not be good enough, or you won't amount to anything? How would they know? Have they traveled into the future and come back, and now we have that information? Haven't seen you, how you do, how your life is in the future? No. So what was it that they were saying? Well, they wanted to control you, just tell you you're not good enough, so you would feel stupid and they could feel smart. There are two ways to have the tallest building in town. One is to destroy all other buildings. Then no matter how tall your building is, it will be the tallest. That's when you have no talent to increase the height of your building and accomplish anything. When you don't have that talent, you start chiseling on other people's properties and try to destroy that in order to look that you have something valuable. And the same thing. And the other one is to keep building your own building and don't worry about what's out there. But obviously those people didn't have the talent to keep building their own, and they decided to feel good is to knock somebody down. This is like the bullies. This is like the people who want to control others. How can they control you? First, they got to make you feel that you can't do much. And how? By constantly telling you they can't do much. And you're a kid, you may actually believe them. And that will last as long as you haven't noticed what has happened and you believe in the garbage that you heard. But once you become older and your mind becomes stronger and you'll start accomplishing things, and you can see, hey, I can do anything I put my mind to it, which is true. You can do anything that you put your mind to it. But the key word here is if you put your mind to it. That means you believe that all it is, it takes your attention and your focus. Then it's done, because you're capable to do anything that anybody else is. And provided you stop believing the garbage that they uttered, because they had no qualifications to make such prediction whatsoever. So on what basis could you believe the thought that somebody utters out of their mouth based on they feel like it? And the problem is, why would you actually believe such a thing that you hear? Because you have a weak mind. And that weak mind was when you were a kid. Every kid is impressionable and believe somebody who's older than him says something good or bad. It's possible. But now you're no longer that kid. You're 28 years old. You're no longer that kid, and you don't have to feel you're a child and they're older. You can simply alter that falsehood that you believed, and now you can see the light that in actuality they were wrong, they are wrong, they will always be wrong, because you can choose today to achieve anything you want, or tomorrow, I don't feel like achieving anything. Or the next day, maybe I'll do some little bit. Or the next day, I'm focused. I want to do a lot more thing in life that I want to do. You can do that. It's up to you, nobody else. That child doesn't exist anymore who fell for that bullshit. Those people cannot affect you anymore, because now the jig is up. You're old enough, and you just can see through it that they were just full of shit, and they were weak, and they wanted to control you. And that's how they tried to control you, by making you weak. And the other one is that the actuality of you is that you have grown, you have developed, you have education, you have somebody totally different than when you were a kid. So you don't have to constantly follow whatever it was that they uttered at you as a kid. You're a grown man. You can research, you can study, you can do whatever it is that you find it within your capabilities. So why are you hanging on to that? Because somehow you have been having that roaming around in your mind all through your childhood until now. And guess what happens? When you constantly roam around, reminisce on something, whether true or false, when you keep doing it, what are you doing? You're having your synaptic neurons to prepare to be good at that, what it is you're doing all the time. If it's playing tennis, you'll be good at that. If it's playing piano, synaptic neurons create bridges between the two to pass along the neurotransmitters that is necessary for you to become good at that information, which is based on what you're doing. And you've been doing that constantly. You have kind of rewired yourself to feel that there's so many of these synaptic neurons created that, okay, I can't do stuff, which was totally nonsense. Now what you can do is constantly focus on the fact that I'm doing this and I'm going to do that, and I can do anything I want, anything that I put my mind to it, and have that roam around your head. And after a while, this new rhythm in your mind will be hardwired. Neurotransmitters will create bridges on the basis of you believe in yourself, and you can, and you will, and you're totally capable to do anything you put your mind to it. And while you're becoming good at this, by actions, by thinking, by encouraging yourself, at the same time, you're no longer focusing on the previous programming, which it's called neuroplasticity. That by itself deletes, because the neurons that were responsible to make you feel that you're good at not being good, they become dormant because you're not focusing on them. You're focusing on how good you are and how capable you are to accomplish anything you want to accomplish. Therefore, you become good at that, and the ones that are dormant will be marked by glial cells using a protein. And then at night times when you sleep, the brain shrinks about 60%, and the microglial cells go and find those bridges that have been marked, and then they destroy it. And then eventually you will no longer be even remembering about that was uttered, and you'll be fully focused with the new you, rewired through the science of neuroplasticity, and you become as capable as you've always could have been, and even more. I hope that helps you out. And you can take a look at the video I have called How to Delete Your Memory, and that explains in detail what I just said in a few words, and perhaps that would be a worthwhile thing to see how neuroplasticity takes place. Your actions and behavior and new interest in how you treat yourself or think through repetitions can rewire you, and that rewiring can happen in any age, at any time, about anything.